Let's bring in former DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin and Republican strategist Luke Ball. I don't know, Tricia, to you first. I can't believe I just heard AOC say, well, listen, the behavior's not great, but we got to win the Senate. Regardless of what they do, the party that believe all women now doesn't believe the women who are associated with Graham Platner. Watch this.
I just want to say to the men of this country, just shut up and step up. Do the right thing for a change.
Graham Platner, who's running for Senate in Maine, has made some wild...
I'm not going to get into that.
I believe Dr. Blasey Ford because she's telling the truth. She fears that if this person is confirmed, he will do terrible things for America women.
I'm very confident we are going to win Maine.
We believe you. We don't believe you. I mean, it's all about the power, which is kind of sad here, Tricia.
Oh, it's all about the power, Trace. And I think it exposes what so many of us have seen for so long, is that Democrats have used that Me Too movement as a ploy. What it really is ruthless political gamesmanship masquerading as social justice. I mean, if you look at the case of Christine Blasey Ford, there was no contemporaneous evidence. There was actually no evidence that Kavanaugh had ever met Christine Blasey Ford, and yet he was told time and time again to step aside. His character was repeatedly assassinated. Thank God President Trump decided to stand by Brett Kavanaugh. We now have a Supreme Court justice. But there, of course, is a very different standard for Platner. Unfortunately, it looks like he will win tomorrow, but I think this has short-term consequences that are negative for Democrats, fundraising that actually electorally, but also long-term consequences totally damaging to that brand for the Democrats.
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. There was no evidence in the Christy Blasey Ford case at all, and there was no corroboration, but yet here we are. To you now, Luke, John Fetterman talking to Graham Platner, responding to Graham Platner, and then Graham Platner talking with John Fetterman. Watch this.
I will wear a suit every day in the Senate. And now you can set the record clear and provide all those texts and all those conversations that you were having as a newlywed.
And you can't just go down there and be John Fetterman and just kind of just sort of be an
Yeah, not even in yet. What do you think about that, Luke?
Graham Platner has a scandal list longer than a CVS receipt. And any one of those scandals on that list would get you fired from your job in normal America and barred from getting within a 100-foot radius of every elementary school and Chuck E. Cheese in the country. And yet he is the leader, the front runner for the Democrats in Maine. And I would submit the rest of the country, because this is the direction the party is going. But they don't care, because it's all about power. And by the way, as Kevin pointed out earlier, Janet Mills is still on the ballot. It's not like the Democrats are handcuffed to this guy. They had a golden opportunity to run away from him and say, we don't want anything to do with the anti-Semitism, the Nazi tattoo, the ridiculous talk about what you do in a porta potty, the sexual assault, all of that garbage they could have run away from, and yet they didn't. They've embraced it.
Meantime, you have Hakeem Jeffries, the minority leader in the House. He's saying, forget about congressional candidate Adam Hamawiy's ties to a terrorist, and let's talk about Republicans. Watch.
Very interesting that you've asked me about candidates, many of whom haven't even confronted a Democratic primary yet, but haven't asked me a single question about the hatred, the xenophobia, the Islamophobia, the outright racism that we see being peddled by actual members of Congress in the Republican conference sitting in the House of Representatives right now.
We have learned one thing, Tricia. Very difficult to get straight answers on Capitol Hill these days.
It sure is. And you have Graham Platner at the top of the Democrat ticket in Maine, who has a Nazi tattoo, as we talked about time and time again, at the same time that we have a 70% increase in assaults, hate crimes against the Jewish American community. Yet Hakeem Jeffries doesn't see this as a bipartisan issue. He doesn't see this as an American issue. Instead, he's saying, why are you asking me about this on a Sunday show when we have primaries 2 days away? He has to step up. If he wants to be a true leader in Congress, he has to recognize that these issues are bigger than partisanship.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically the same answer that AOC gave. It's like, meh, we don't really care about that. We do care about this. A Congressional Oversight Committee saying that Governor Tim Walz and his administration ignored fraud warnings. And James Comer said this tonight to Sean Hannity.
There were government employees in Minnesota who reported the fraud. They saw the fraud and they did the right thing, and they reported it to the governor and attorney general, both of whom did nothing about it, and in some instances retaliated against the state employees who were doing the right thing by uncovering fraud and reporting it to their higher-ups.
Comer was on Hannity tonight, Luke. That was on Capitol Hill. Meantime, Governor Walz responded by saying, his office responded by saying, this oversight committee is a, quote, joke.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And the fact is also that $500 billion reported by the Government Accountability Office allegedly goes to fraud every single year. Bernie Madoff was only like $20 billion. He's starting to look like the patron saint of finance over here. And the amount of money is just staggering. It's almost incomprehensible to fathom, and yet all of that was completely flying under the radar, allegedly, by the Democrats. They are the ones who are turning the blind eye, and people don't just turn the blind eye for free, Trace. I want to know if they knew about it, who was getting paid off along the way to turn a blind eye.
Yeah, somebody's going to uncover this. It's only a matter of time. Luke, Tricia, thank you both.